How to stay lead safe. First, we have to understand how lead enters your home. Dust, tiny particles that accumulate over time. They seem to grow wherever you don't clean quite as often. And in the case of lead paint, these tiny particles can do lifelong damage to your children. Lead dust doesn't need to be visible to be dangerous. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't there. But how does lead paint become dust? It forms when there's lead paint where two surfaces rub or hit each other. For example, windows, doors, floors, and stairs. Lead paint was also commonly used for trim, walls in bathrooms, kitchens, and exteriors, including porches. Dust from lead paint is the leading cause of childhood lead poisoning. And lead poisoning in children can cause learning disabilities, behavioral problems, hearing damage, language or speech delays, and a lowered IQ. No one wants this for their child. Luckily, lead poisoning is 100% preventable, so let's figure out what we can do. How to check the paint in your home. If you're not sure whether you have lead paint or not, you can purchase a lead test kit from your local hardware store, such as Lowe's or Home Depot, or receive a free one from the Maine CDC. Once you have your lead test kit, find a spot you would like to test. Crush the two ends and mix them together by shaking. Squeeze a little bit of the liquid out to make sure your swab is wet, and then rub it on the area you would like to test. If you get pink or red, you have lead. The free lead test kit from the Maine CDC is different. It involves wiping down a surface with a wet wipe, putting the wipe in a tube, and mailing it off to be tested. The results are not instantaneous. Once you know you have lead, here's how to find problem areas. 1. Are there places where paint is chipping, peeling, flaking, or chalking? Chalking means if you wipe your hand across the surface, it will leave a residue of dust and/or chips of paint on your hand. 2. Is there paint on places where two surfaces rub or hit each other? Windows, doors, floors, or stairs, for example. 3. Is there paint on surfaces where children may put their mouths? Examples include windowsills, chair rails, baseboards, and other places where dust could settle. Surfaces that stick out half an inch or more, or that are within a child's reach, 4 feet or under. 4. Is there bare soil on the property? Dust and chips can fall from lead paint on the outside of a home and land in soil nearby. It can stay in soil for many years. If the answer is yes to any of these questions, it may be a lead hazard. You can find ways to fix possible hazards at maine.gov/healthyhomes. Not all lead hazards stand out so much. It takes very little to create a lead hazard. How often to look? The condition of paint changes over time. Look for lead hazards every 6 months, and in between tenants if you own rental properties. The bottom line is, keep children away from these areas, and tell your landlord about damaged paint. Keep things clean, especially in play areas. Think about all the places in your home where your child plays. Wash the floor or vacuum the carpet often. Use a HEPA vacuum. If your vacuum doesn't have a HEPA filter, it will spread the lead into the air, making your problem worse. If you need to borrow a free HEPA vacuum, contact your local town or city hall to see if they have a vacuum loan program. See if there is peeling or chipping paint, and remove any that has fallen off. Put furniture in front of windowsills with chipping paint so your child can't get to them. If you live in an apartment, don't let your children play in the hall, stairs, or on the porch. These are high-risk areas. A little bit of lead dust can easily spread over your entire house or apartment. Frequent cleaning using wet mops and rags can help reduce the amount of lead dust in your home. Wash windowsills, trim, especially around windows, doors, and other areas children touch. Wash your floors once a week. Remember that dust spreads easily. Keep things clean throughout your home. Clean floors, windowsills, and tabletops with wet mops or rags once a week. Wash your child's hands before eating or sleeping. Wash toys once a week and keep toys away from areas with chipping paint. Feed your child at a table or in a high chair. Don't let your child eat food that falls on the floor. Wash pacifiers and bottles if they fall on the floor before giving them to your child. Don't bring lead home from your job. If you work in any of these professions, take extra precautions when it comes to bringing lead home. Artists, auto repair technicians, battery manufacturers, bridge reconstruction workers, construction workers, firing range instructors and gunsmiths, glass manufacturers, lead miners, lead refiners, lead smelters, manufacturers of bullets, ceramics, and electrical components, painters, plastic manufacturers, plumbers and pipe fitters, police officers, recyclers of metal, electronics, and batteries, rubber products manufacturers, shipbuilders, solid waste incinerator operators, steel welder. If you work with lead at your job, change your shoes and clothes right away. Put dirty clothes in their own bag or hamper, and wash work clothes separately from family laundry. Take a shower before touching your child. Keep lead out of your child's mouth. If you live with lead paint, it is difficult to protect your child. Just remember that the most common way children are poisoned is by eating lead paint dust. They can do this directly, for example, putting a dusty windowsill in their mouth, or indirectly, by getting dust on their hands and then using those dirty hands to eat food. You can help protect them from this hazard by making these steps your top priority. Wash hands before eating and sleeping. Wash toys weekly. Don't let children eat food or use pacifiers that have fallen on the floor. Feed children at a table or in a high chair. Test your child for lead poisoning. Most kids with lead poisoning don't look or act sick. If you think your child could be exposed to lead, talk to your healthcare provider. The only way to tell is to get a blood test. Maine requires testing for all children at age 12 and 24 months. For more information, go to maine.gov/healthyhomes. You can also call Healthy Androscoggin at 207-795-5990 or call Coastal Healthy Communities Coalition at 207-602-3555. Do you think you caught all that? Double-check your knowledge with these 5 ways to stay lead safe. Keep play areas clean. Wash up dust weekly. Keep lead out of kids' mouths. Check for lead hazards every 6 months. Get kids tested at 12 and 24 months. By working together, we can protect your children from the dangers of lead poisoning and ensure they have a bright and healthy future.